You think you've seen it all from Ivan Demidov, then he does this. At a recent showdown in Boisbriand, Ivan Demidov not only showing off the insane stick handling, the insane shootout moves, but just showing how much he loves being a Montreal Canadien, sticking around in the summer, participating in all of this stuff. We have to dive into what he's done, the outlook for next year, and how Habs fans just can't control their excitement for him with stuff like this. But we also got some other great stuff to cover today. We got to talk a bit about Noah Dobson. We got to talk about a lot of very interesting stuff, and we'll get straight into that on this episode of Habs Digest. You know, we'll start with Noah Dobson, Jesse, because this recent article that I'll link down below, I outlined some bounce back candidates, and I use that word a little loosely because Islanders fans were definitely down on Noah Dobson after this season, despite you can go look for the receipts of them thinking that they were going to get a number one seed like Elias Pettersson for him. I'm not lying. Threads like that were absolutely everywhere, and then when they traded him for Heineman and 2 firsts, they thought that was a good deal. Sorry, Isles fans. I don't know. I see those receipts, but you know, he is a candidate to have a bounce back year points wise, Jesse, because we know this dude's a former 70-point defenseman. He only had 39 points this year. But again, if you look at the advanced analytics, such as this JFresh chart here, JFresh makes the best charts. This was actually the best season of his career on defense and on offense by all the advanced metrics. So when we're talking about bounce back, we're talking strictly points. He was great 5v5, Jesse. And look, maybe this is a hot take. I don't think it is. I'm slotting him in for 55 to 60 points with this Habs team in year one. And I think it could get even higher. I think he's going to have an unbelievable year that's going to have Isles fans crying in the corner.
For sure. I mean, we've mentioned on the show that we feel like he is primed for a comeback. Just like, projecting at where he's kind of coming into his own. I think age needs to be factored in and considering kind of the down year in terms of point compared to what he's kind of used to getting coming into his early prime. I think it's fair to say, absolutely. Obviously, coming into a better team in Montreal in that situation, it's going to help. Absolutely. Demidov definitely has to kind of factor into this. As well as that they have the nuclear option with Lane Hutson that they can go to. And you have to feel like that's going to factor in a huge way. And again, if Martin St. Louis needs goals, he knows that he can go to that. It's not going to be quite on the tier of a McDavid Draisaitl of the Dobson Hutson, but we're working towards that. That's really the goal. That being said, it's I think with Dobson, it's he's going to bring a lot to this team. And that being said, we're still going to need to be able to balance the defense with the offense. But I think if we're able to do that, that's where the magic's really going to happen for this young Habs team.
Yeah, and look, Dobson, I mean, we know he's not the most physical guy in the game, but he blocks shots. And again, the defense this year, transition defense is the big thing people knock him for. We'll have to see what he can do this year. But again, the 5v5 defense is great. We have some great defensemen on this team. The ice is going to be tilted one way for sure when he's on there. And I saw someone theorize that empty net lineup when we need a goal late, Jesse, Hutson and Dobson on the point, and we got Demidov with our top line there down low, or you can even put Laine in depending on the situation. It's crazy that Patrick Laine might not even be on the ice in a 6v5 situation. That's how insanely stacked this team is right now. So leave some love for Noah Dobson down below. We got to keep pumping this guy up because Isles fans are trying to bring him down. Not all of them. There's a lot of great fans as well saying keep good care of him. We're going to do it. Really excited for it. But talking about that top line, Jesse, JFresh again did a poll. They've been doing the poll for the defensemen. We talked about it on the show. Lane Hutson was, I think, 20 something in the NHL. Pretty good. But they did it for the forwards. And 2 Habs players on our top line were big time risers this year. And here's the 2025 forward ranking. Top 75. Feel free to pause. Turn it to HD so you can see it all. Have a look. But I've zoomed in where the Habs are. Now, we'll start with Caufield, number 53 on this list. And this actually makes me happy because I see him above Jordan Kyrou, which I'm surprised that the general NHL fan base had this here. Because typically you see some love for Caufield, but to have him right there with JT Miller, a guy who's just last year, 2 years ago, 100-point season, right? Andrei Svechnikov on a great Carolina team, Jordan Kyrou, up-and-coming Lucas Raymond, Caufield's right in the middle. Look, I think he can climb even higher, Jesse. He was a big climber from last year to this year. I love the love that fans seem to be showing him. I don't know. I probably would have had him around this range myself. I'm quite happy with this.
There's a lot of parity in the NHL right now in terms of teams. I think you can kind of extend that logic to the players as well. So it's a good list, but it's an interesting list as well. And I love to see Cole Caufield on this. That being said, with Suzuki, it's they're going to be motivated to really climb up this list. Mm-hmm. That being said, Josh, I want to see Lane Hutson on this list. I know he's a small guy, but where is he? He's missing from this list. I know that we see Byfield on this list as well. I want Slav on there. I feel like if Byfield's on this list, that Slaf should be as well. Cooley as well. I think that Slaf has had a better start to his career potentially than Cooley, so I think he should be on this list. Other than that, it's hard to really kind of, question that first part of it. But again, like Nick Suzuki, I feel like he's going to make, a lot of analysts, Mike Johnson recently had him as making Team Canada.
Yep.
Right? So I think it makes, a lot of sense. I'd love to see him, maybe personally speaking, please just ahead of Stützle, but again, we can't take this too emotionally here. But yeah, that being said, it's like he's just going to continue to climb up this list. Nick Suzuki, I think Caufield as well. They're going to want to help their teams, but I think like they missed out on the Four Nations. They're going to want to be a part of the Olympics. That's going to be some huge motivation. But again, Josh, like watch for Ivan Demidov incoming onto this list. He's going to get his feet wet, but like before you know it, he's going to be there in that top 10, right around that Kaprizov spot, maybe usurping him, in the future. That's how much I believe in our boy.
Oh, yeah, man, I'm hyped for him, too. Like, I'm excited to see where these guys climb again. Suzuki climbed from 43 to 28 this year. Caufield climbed a lot. Slaf fell a bit down to, like, 90-something, I think, or maybe even in the hundreds. But, yeah, once we see a full season of Ivan Demidov, it's going to be great. Suzuki, I think, came in as like the 11th or 12th best center on this list. So leave your thoughts on where he's ranked. 28th in the league in terms of forwards, not too bad for me. I would have loved to see top 25 because I genuinely believe it. I think this is the year where he's going to put together that offense with the defense. So we're going to have to see, right? He's been really good defensively and good offensively and really good offensively and good defensively. We're about to see that really good. But like you said, Jesse, the Ivan Demidov effect is going to affect other players on this team as well. How we perceive them, how we perceive everyone, how we perceive this organization. And like I said earlier, just like when you thought you've seen it all, he does this. Now, these are credit to Karine Haynes, who tweeted these on X, and I will link them down below as well, probably in a pinned comment, so you guys can go check out these original clips, because, show the love that they deserve for recording this. But this showdown in Boisbriand, he was showing off like crazy. This move here, the one-handed backhand fake, like the one-handed backhand goal is something you've seen sometimes. The one-handed backhand fake into the forehand. I mean, look, I feel like we've seen it all with him, but I just love to see everything he's doing around the community, Jesse. He loves being in Montreal. He loves showing off. Stick handling is something that I feel like I haven't seen a Hab do since Kovalev. It's something we've said a lot, right? The effort, he makes it look effortless, everything on the ice. And I know maybe we're just extrapolating these little clips here from this showdown into something that we believe is bigger coming in the future. But like, again, every time I see a clip of him, he's doing something that impresses me. And I cannot say that for very many players where I watch clips of them,
Yeah, this work that he's putting in the offseason absolutely definitely matters. We can confirm here on Habs Digest that Ivan Demidov has not left the arena the entirety of the offseason. He's just living there right now. He's making it his home. And I mean, we're seeing the dangles, the skill as a result of it. It's just really through the roof. And it's not only that, these showcases just a little bit fun, but it's really like the minutia of the game, which Ivan Demidov is working along with the direction of the Habs management. Like, this is a concerted, like they have him on a specific, like, agenda, like playbook of what they want in his training. It's segmented throughout the season, and they're just working on all the best things that's getting me excited again, reminding me of why I love this team, the direction we're going, and the players that we have to execute. Because one thing, as you had mentioned, Josh, like earlier when we were speaking before the show, was how they're working on with Ivan Demidov on like his pass receptions and like kind of that first touch. And then it's like, we all know it's like Operation Get Demidov the puck. Like, good things are going to happen when he has the puck on his stick. We know that he loves to have it there on the offensive zone, not only for himself, but also how he can set up things for his teammates. So it just makes such great sense that they're actually working on this, of just getting control of that puck and making that first good touch, that reception, so that he can really make all the magic happen from there.
I can't wait to see it, right? And again, like when you have stick handling skills like this, it's just insane what you can do when you have the instincts around the net. I mean, we could go back and watch the highlights from the playoffs, that part in the season where he was playing for us. Like, it is unbelievable to see the skill ceiling that he has. And again, when we look at this list, like, there's got very few guys on this list that have that skill ceiling that Ivan Demidov has. Yes, obviously, like, he still has a ways to go to see, hey, actually got to prove himself in the NHL instead of just the 7 games, but he already looks like he has more skill than a lot of guys here. So I can't wait to see what he does this year, whether it's on the second line or, well, it will be on the second line, maybe the first line by the end of the year, and who he's going to be playing with, that's yet to be seen, but leave some love for him down below. It's crazy to be a Habs fan, being able to watch this guy play. Even a guy like Jurovsky, the 3v3 tournament, the skill that he has. We have a lot of very, very, very high-end skill guys, and I feel like it's been a long time since we could say that. But listen, that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, and if you love what Ivan Demidov is doing in the offseason, leave a like on the video down below. Thank you for supporting us. every single day. I'm your host, Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.